Hey, what's up? It's Nick Pagliochini once again back in Garden Grove at Garden Grove Amp, so the amphitheater here in Garden Grove. And this is where the 64th annual Strawberry Festival of Garden Grove will be taking place Memorial Day weekend. And that's what we're getting you prepped on, because you've already heard from Mark Mahoney, and if you haven't, you need to go back and check out that in-conversation in two parts, learning about Mark and his background in Anaheim and everything else regarding a Model T and his wife being a part of the association and all the ways that he became part of the Festival Association for the Garden Grove Festival here or the Strawberry Festival here in Garden Grove. And then we moved into talking about the history of the event and a little bit of what is involved with it. But here with this lovely lady, Andrea Perez, who is the Director of Community Services and PR for the Strawberry Festival in Garden Grove. If you didn't catch her part one, then shame on you. You need to go pause this and go check out that episode, because we got a lot of anecdotal stories. In fact, one that we're going to get into right now, and that is only because if you know, you know. And when I reference Taylor, and you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you haven't checked out part one yet. So you got to go back and check it out. But here in part two, I want to start out with something that Taylor thinks is the best story. So behind the scenes of how Andrea and her husband, Taylor's dad, met. So tell me that story. I know, to put you on the spot. Welcome to the show. Let's do this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. When we met at this party,
yes,
I think we were exchanging numbers, and he said, okay, write my number down. I said, okay. And he goes, 867-5309. And I wrote it down, didn't even think about it. And then he was looking at me like, how do you not know that? And it was just, so it's just a big laugh.
I think that's cute. The funnier part is it was now that era, because me being a fool, I would have been like, is that 949 or 714?
That's true.
Only because, but that's different now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like we've got 424 overlays. We've got so much else going here. So as you can tell, if you have not checked out part one, Andrea is a true joy, and we'll be meeting her daughter Taylor here in a little bit. But Andrea started out in Chicago, and she came out here to California and was in Anaheim, pretty much just like Mark Mahoney. So that seems to be a theme. So maybe Andrea is the president of the future for the association. Have you been one before?
Last year I was president.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm past president, sorry.
I apologize. I have had royalty not once but twice. Wait, have you been the queen or no? Not yet.
Not yet. I'm not that old yet.
Okay. Ooh. All
Sorry,
all tea, no shade. It's fine. Talk to me so since we've already referenced that nobody knows what we're talking about, what is the reference point that I was making about being the king?
Oh, so Mark in 2022 was crowned the Garden Grove Senior King. And that's a title that's given to one man and one woman from the city of Garden Grove for their volunteerism.
Okay. So that is something to look forward to when you've got many years ahead of you. You are far too young for such a role. Is there a non-senior king and queen? No.
For the Strawberry Festival?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like in that role that you just said, the volunteerism thing. Is there a younger generation? Oh, see? Oh, you're talking smack on me, and you don't need to be the senior queen. You can just be the normal queen, the regular queen.
Or like the woman of the year.
Okay, see, bougie titles. This is great, though. I love it. So there's so much involved here, and I think that's what I have learned between talking to Mark and Andrea, is that this is one of those community events that I really want to encourage you to be sure to enjoy as part of This Weekend with Nick Pagliochini. Get out and about in your own neighborhood and backyard. And the reason for that is I've learned so much about this. I myself have been to the Strawberry Festival here in Garden Grove many, many years. Unfortunately, I'll be out of town this year, so I'm a little disappointed on that one. But I will be back, I guarantee, maybe for something special for the 65th next year.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Garden Grove, as I have come to understand, the Strawberry Festival here is very community-oriented. And again, if you listen to This Weekend with Nick Pagliochini, whether or on KFI or the podcast, you know free 99 is a big thing, because we all have times in our lives where we need to go out and enjoy ourselves and be able to get kind of that fun, relaxing reset. And maybe we don't have a whole lot in our bank account. And so this is one of those opportunities to get out and enjoy something between the parade, which we're going to talk about here with Andrea in a little bit, also any of the festival itself, or even just coming out and supporting your local community. So what few bucks you do have, you're able to kick into your neighbor's coffers, as opposed to, not that I don't love a good big box store or don't love a good McDonald's or Wendy's. And if you know, you know from part one. But with all that being said, I think it's one of those events and those activities that is so much a part of the fabric of Southern California for me. There are many, many festivals around Southern California, including the International Street Fair that happens over in the city of Orange at the Orange Circle, if you're familiar. But these are all really big, important events that not just help out the community, it helps the community help itself. So talk to me about, we already kind of hit on it in part one, but how, let's go over it again. How did you become a part of or involved with the Garden Grove Strawberry Festival?
In a nutshell, just through my volunteerism through the city and the different organizations I'm involved in, I just meet people, and one thing led to another, and I was asked to join, and I started as an associate. And the guy it was actually the associate of this position, and the guy that was in this position, he moved after 6 months because he got another job, and they promoted me up to director. I had no idea what I was doing at first. So little by little, I'm learning. Every year I'm learning more and more, but I love this job. I
think it's amazing. So in case somebody is tuning in that hasn't caught part one with Mark to describe what the roles are, explain what a director and what an associate are related to the Strawberry Festival.
It's, I hate to say this, it's a little old school.
It's totally old school, but that doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing.
No, because the directors, they come together and they're the ones that have the positions. We have 21 directors. Each director has a different position. So even though Mark's the president, he still has his position that he has to do, which is he's in charge of contracts and the rides.
So he's a director and the president.
Exactly.
So it's a plus
exactly.
situation.
Yeah. So each director has their position, and then they have an associate, and the associate is supposed to work alongside them. So if the director, something happens to the director, or they quit, or however that happens, the associate should be able to step into their shoes and fulfill their particular job.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, I think it's great, and I think it's something to strive for. And as you learned, I will pull back the curtain again, and I just love pulling it back. I like to think that I'm the great and powerful Oz. Many people know that already, but Mark's son is actually his associate. So the current president's son will hopefully be slotting in a future time period as the director. So it's kind of fun because I like that notion. It's a family-oriented event. So it's a community event, but it's also very much family dedicated and oriented. So you became a part of it. You started, doing the associate thing. You're now a director. What has it been like for you to be a part of the Strawberry Festival? Because this is an event, again, we've talked about it, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but, it's a volunteer-only position. And that really means that you are passionate. That means you are dedicated. That means that community and family and chosen family or friends are incredibly important to you. So what has that been like over the years that you've been involved with the festival?
It's been rewarding. I love doing it. I love volunteering. Anecdotally, I used to tell my mom that I just want to help people when I get older.
Okay.
And so, I think through all of my volunteering, I have been helping people. So, it's ramped up. Like I kind of have created a little niche for what I do. And I think I've taken it to the next level. I'd like to believe I've taken it to the next level. I don't know. But for me, my job is like a 9-month thing. Like I'm doing it all the time.
You're really
giving 100%,
no,
1,000%.
But I'm saying not just that, it's a 9-month thing. You're having a baby like year after year. I mean, you literally are in that gestation period of really pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And even though you have the years and experience, and as you said, you've learned new things, you've gotten better at the role and everything to that point, you always learn new things along the way, and you encounter new challenges along the way.
Yes. And just like everyone else on our board, they all put in, all these hours and all this time. They love what they're doing, just like me. I love what I'm doing, and I don't think I'd ever give it up, unless I have to,
Sure.
And it's for me, it's hard because I have to learn to knit in family life, my responsibilities with my volunteer work. And so it's tricky, but I make it work. I think we'll have to ask the strawberry.
We'll get to the strawberry in a little bit here. Now talk to me about the festival itself. So it is a 4-day festival. It runs Memorial Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yes.
Here in the right outside of where we're at right now, which is the Garden Amphitheater.
Yes.
Which is what's the park that's here?
That park is called the Village Green Park.
Okay, Village Green Park.
It's located at the intersection of Euclid Street and Main Street, and it kind of makes a triangle.
Yes.
So every time, if you drive past that park, I always drive past it and just in amazement, like I can't believe that our festival fits in this section.
And that includes carnival rides.
Yes. We have over 35 rides.
Yeah, and we're talking like a Ferris wheel and like big rides.
I like to say that we're a mini Orange County Fair.
You really are in a much tighter area. And you have a clock tower, right? If I remember right?
You have a clock tower.
Have a clock, which, I mean, literally, I mean, at least LA County Fair, they have a clock tower. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they have a clock tower, but I'm saying like yours is a permanent install.
Yes.
The clock tower for the LA County Fair only shows up at the fair.
Ah, okay, yes.
So this is one of those cool landmarks. I'm also saying it as the traffic guy who's saying, the clock tower, if you get lost trying to find that triangle for Village Square Park.
And it's interesting that you say that, because we have a program for our festival.
Love it.
We do have a piece on the clock tower in the program, so you can get this free program at the festival, or you can get it online at our website, strawberryfestival.org. So there's a whole history about the clock tower, and
oh my gosh,
wait,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
No. I have to interrupt, and I know that I'm going to walk up to the camera right now because this is a little preview of what you're going to see here live in person very soon. If you are tuning into the podcast and it's audio only, you've got to go over to YouTube, or you got to check out the website, because you're not going to want to miss what is coming up here very shortly. But that's my tease. I'm not telling you what it is, but if you're watching, you know what is coming. So there's the program that's available, you said, here online at strawberryfestival.org. Also, can you get it ahead of time at any local businesses or anything like that? Okay.
I'm delivering it around to different businesses, to some of our sponsors.
Okay.
And we have it online. It's a PDF form that you can view it now.
Which is easy. And you can, if you're one of those people that is a tree hugger, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but if you want to save a tree, you can check it out that way. And you can complete it completely digital. I mean, you can be really fancy and bring your tablet computer with you, and you can just have it there and swipe through. So with the 4 days, and this is something we talked about with Mark, which I think is really kind of fun and special, and kind of goes back to your reference to being a little bit old school. Talk to me about the opening moment, if you will, with the cake cutting.
Yeah, so the cake cutting is Friday evening, starts at 6 o'clock. We have a very large cake that we give out free to all of the people that come and wait. And as Mark said, people start lining up at like 3 o'clock. I swear there's thousands of people. It looks like it anyway. It's
I'm sure people like it, and it's probably pretty darn close.
It's pretty amazing. And what happens is we have the celebrities that are in our parade and all the other VIPs that we invite. They're brought onto stage and introduced. And this year we're honoring last year's senior king. His name is Howard Whitaker. He passed away in December, I believe. So we're opening the festival in his honor this year. So his family is coming out to that.
But see, I think, and that in and of itself right there proves the fact of the love and community and family orientation here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's, is not lost on me. And I do not think is lost on a lot of listeners and viewers to This Weekend with Nick, or in conversation with Nick Pagliochini, because, it really shows a different level of thought and a level of heart and a level of dedication, because as you said, it's a former senior king, somebody, which means that they have dedicated a lot of time, energy, and effort to volunteerism in and among the festival itself. And then you're continuing that legacy, and hopefully his Whitaker, was it?
Howard Whitaker.
Hopefully somebody from Howard's family is involved now, maybe.
Not yet.
At some point.
Not yet.
But we'll get them. Anyway, but I think that's great. So, so that's the cake cutting. Delicious slice of strawberry shortcake. As Mark said, the world famous,
really
possibly the largest, non-Guinness Book of World Records confirmed, but the largest shortcake in the world.
Yes.
And so that's 6 o'clock on Friday. And I have been here on Fridays, and I have not been able to make it for that. So hopefully in a year in the
Next
future.
year.
Yes, there we go. I don't know. I think we got to figure out how to get Nick Pagliochini to become a celebrity and maybe the parade or something.
Yes, you could be our celebrity next year.
I'm good with that.
That's my job.
See, I was like, community services, ding. Anyway.
I'm already going to mark you on the calendar.
I love it. No, that's great. And also, and I think that's a funny part, because I was going to say too, you can see at least one of my stations, KFI AM 640, is definitely a supporter of the Garden Grove Festival. So
love our sponsors.
yes, Gary and Shannon, you hear me middays with them from 9 until 1 on KFI. Also, the Fork Reporter, Neil Saavedra, who has his show on Saturdays from 2 until 5. But right now, he is Bill Handel's sidekick during the Handel show, Monday through Friday, from 6 until 9. So,
nice.
Get all those plugs in there, right?
Yeah.
So with that, so what do the weekends look like? We talked briefly with Mark about some of the musical acts that'll be here at the amphitheater. But you even have stuff going on out in the community, because I want to say I remember things happening out in the festival area itself in years past anyway.
Well, so during the day we have contests.
Got it. Okay.
We have 5 contests during the whole weekend, starting Friday night with the Tiny Tot King and Queen.
Okay, so you do have a royalty thing. That's a
We have a Tiny Tot
King and Queen. And how do you become do you just show up or do you have to apply ahead of time?
Well, that's another director's position.
Okay,
contest. So they actually apply, and there's a whole process that they go through to choose the winners. And then the each one of them get to ride in the parade. So the
Super
Tiny Tot
cute.
King and Queen are in the parade with the Senior King and Queen. They also ride in the parade.
Very cute.
And then we have all of our vendors. We have concerts in the evening. We have 2 stages. We have the garden amp, and then we also have the showmobile. So
That's
we have
okay. So the
concerts on
showmobile is what I'm thinking about. Okay,
yeah,
got
the
it.
showmobile is actually where the cake cutting takes place.
Got it. Okay.
It's at the intersection of Main and then Acacia.
Okay.
And let's see, parade Saturday morning.
Got it.
We have VIP breakfast Saturday morning that's open to the public. All of the parade participants go to the breakfast. Public can come and, you know, they get introduced, and then we have the parade, and then afterward they come back, and then the rest of the festivities just happen. The concerts.
I think it's amazing. Well, you can hear
Speaking of concerts.
that. No, I was going to say, you can totally hear that coming up. So we might actually have to cut things short a little bit here because it sounds like they're doing a sound check for one of the musical acts that's coming up here very, very soon. But with all that being said, talk to me about what Monday of Memorial Day looks like, because it's always very popular, and I've been here. It's pretty poppin', even though it's, you know, getting ready to go back into the work week.
We always think it's going to be a slow day, but it turns out that it's steady the whole entire day. I think it's because a lot of people are off.
Sure.
But we don't do anything special on that Monday. I think that's for us, it's kind of a end of the road, kind of a breather type thing. But we still have contests. We have contests and we have music.
See,
So
so there's no excuse for you. The Strawberry Festival here in Garden Grove really has a little bit of something for everybody. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I want to invite our very special guest, the fruit of the hour, the lady of the hour, Taylor, but the fruit of the hour. This is the strawberry that you want to make sure that you come and take a picture with. You get to meet. If you check out Nick Pagliochini as well as This Weekend with Nick on Instagram, you will actually get to meet Taylor, the incredible young lady that is behind the strawberry. But can you tell me a quick history about the strawberry? When did that come about? And I mean, Taylor's kind of originated-ish it, correct or no?
No, she's been doing it now for probably as long as I've been. I've been involved for like 7 years.
7 years. I'm getting the high sign from the strawberry of 7 years. Very nice.
They used to just find someone that would fit into the costume and throw it on them and put it in the parade. And then when I started, I'm like, oh no, that's perfect for her. And it's her thing now. Everyone knows that she's the strawberry and she just brings a lot of personality to it. So find her, take a picture of her, and tag us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Strawberry mascot. Hashtag strawberry mascot.
Okay, so hashtag strawberry mascot. You've got to come out.
Yes.
You now know the lovely young lady that is behind this incredible strawberry here, but you need to come out to the Garden Grove Strawberry Festival celebrating its 64th year. Andrea, this has been incredible. Taylor, thank you so much. We'll talk to you very quickly on social media here. But real quick, where can we find out more details about the Strawberry Festival?
At our website, strawberryfestival.org. We also have an Instagram page and a Facebook page.
Fantastic. Do you know what the tags are on those by chance? If not,
I
you can check out
don't.
No, it's fine. You can check out the show notes at thisweekofwithnick.com.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll have all the details there. Also, you can check out Nick Pagliochini and This Week with Nick on Instagram. Those, I guarantee, will have these hashtags and all the apps and everything that you could possibly need. Andrea, this has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
So much for taking time out of your day.
You too.
And you need to come out and enjoy this weekend with Andrea and I.
Yes, thank you.